3.
Hi, I'm Erika Newton. I'm an LCSW at Collin County Advocacy Center in Plano. Usually there we see clients who have a history of anxiety and depression is the most common clients we get. Today my client is Brittany. She is a 46-year-old overweight woman, like 525 pounds woman. She's a pretty big lady. She was referred to me by CPS after being bailing her son out of jail. CPS and law enforcement concerns include lack of supervision. Also, they want to help her change her lifestyle so she'll be more involved with her kids and her eating habits. After doing a biopsychosocial assessment, the client reports a huge lack in energy. She's always excessively overeating, which has caused her to be obese. She sleeps a lot, but not in her bed ever since her husband died after he killed himself, which is another source of concern. She has very regular low self-esteem, and some strengths about the client is that she wants to be a good parent to her children. Now, my diagnostic impression after looking at the biosocial assessment, under Axis 1, I classified her as depressive disorder, recurrent. Under Axis 3, she has obesity, obviously, high blood pressure and high cholesterol. Under Axis 4, she has difficulty functioning at home and also as a parent. And under Axis 5, her GAF, I gave her 49. Now, based on her psychosocial assessment, I've found that solution-focused therapy would be the best therapy for my client. This new therapy is relatively new, but it has a unique focus where it's not on the problem that the client is having, but on the solution. Also, the strengths clients possess, which is really important. And also in another study by McDonald in 2005, brief therapy, called Brief Therapy in Adult Psychology Results from 15 years of practice. Using the therapy, the researchers found that 76% of clients reported a positive outcome from solution-focused therapy. So with all that combined, I feel solution therapy would be the best for my client. So in session 1, we're going to go over engagement, which is just establishing a positive mutual relationship between me and the client. I'm going to use a strength-based perspective. And some things you're going to see is a miracle question, which is basically saying, if there was one miracle to occur, what would it be? What would you look like? What would your life look like? Also, I'm going to do certain questions like, how did you find the strength to go on with whatever she's going through? And also, when you're doing better, what will be happening? And also, there'll be a little bit of homework at the very end that I want my client to do, which is writing a letter to her husband. And all of this in hopes to have a great session and hopefully move my client along to healing. Let us begin. Hi, Brittany. It's very nice to meet you. Now, I know this is kind of awkward at first. You don't know me. I don't know you. So let's go over some formalities. Like I said, my name is Erika. I'm a social worker here. I just want to let you know that what we're talking about here is completely confidential. So nothing you say will leave this room. Only time I'd have to breach this confidentiality is if you were to tell me that you're planning to cause harm to yourself or to others, or if there's statements about child abuse. So is that all that makes sense? That sounds good?
Yeah, it's fantastic.
I can sense a little emotion right now. You want to tell me about that? What are you feeling? What brought you in today?
Yeah, I actually have a little emotion. CPS sent me over here trying to talk like I'm a bad mom. I mean, now they're getting me to come see a therapist. Talking about like I'm crazy. So now not only am I a bad mom, that I'm crazy.
Okay. Well, I commend you for coming in today. I know this is probably really hard for you. It definitely shows how much you really care for your children and they're really important to you, because a lot of parents wouldn't have done that. However, though, I am required to talk to you about this. So I hope we can find, resolve the situation together. And so, like I said, I understand you said you were referred by CPS. So what happens? What's going on within your family?
Well, it all started with my boy, Arnie. Now he's special. Do you know what I mean by special?
Are you trying to say that he has like a mental disability?
Yeah, girl.
Okay, yeah. So Well, tell me, you said it all started with Arnie, so can you elaborate what happened with Arnie?
See, my son has this thing about climbing things. He climbs trees, he climbs all kinds of stuff. But lately he's been climbing these water towers. Okay, well, it's never been a big deal. But now the city all wants to come around, bring the police down, and take my baby to jail. My baby. Okay? All right, now, I ain't left my house in 7 years. 7 years, girl. All right? But you best believe I went down to that jail and I got my baby out of there.
Wow, you haven't left your house in 7 years and you did that for your son? That's amazing. It really shows how much you love him and how you put them before anyone else. Now, can you explain to me about who was there, what happened, and how this day was different than all the other times? Because you said you haven't left in 7 years. So what about this day, what happened that made you want to leave your house?
Well, see, I hear about my son being in jail. All right, my little boy, Arnie. All right. So, Gilbert, my eldest son, he tried to call down there to get him out. Well, they weren't having that. Okay? So, I knew I was going to have to do something. So,
Gilbert, Dad's dead. Gilbert.
So, I got Gilbert, and I climbed in that car. I got in that truck with him. Now, I hadn't left my house in 7 years. Now, it wasn't easy getting myself out of the house. So, we drove down in that jail, and I went to Mr. Policeman Ron, okay? I said, Ron! Give me my baby back! And you know what he tried to do? He shoved some paperwork in my face. And you know what I said? I said, Ron, not today. I am taking my baby. And you know what I did? Me and Arnie, we just waltzed right on out of there. We went home. I held her close.
Oh, God, that's awesome. That's awesome. Thank you so much for being so open with me. I know that was a hard story for you. Now, you seem like a very intelligent and caring individual, and I praise you for not worrying about what others think about you, because I know you mentioned with your eyes that people were staring at you, because you didn't say it, I'm not sure why, but I can sense that you may have felt uncomfortable. So I want to talk more about how you feel about yourself, and what has kept you from actually leaving your house.
Well, you know, I really don't care what other people think most of the time. But when I see them staring at me like that, acting like I'm some kind of freak, you know, it kind of hurts, you know. When I was a younger girl, I used to look so good. I mean, all the boys were coming around, okay? And then I, you know, gained a few pounds here and there, and people start calling me freak, you know. So I just stayed at home, and then, you know, my husband died, and well, we're gonna have to do this whole thing over.
No.
Like, serious? No, we're not. Okay. He he killed himself. You know, and I'm sure he just couldn't stand the sight of me. So I started staying in the house. See, when you feel like an animal, you feel like you gotta stay in a cage. And so that's what I did, because that's where I felt safe.
Right.
Like a tiger.
Like, can we literally know?
Pause.
No, we can't pause.
Oh.
Okay.
That really.
Well, I'm very sorry to hear about your husband. How did you find the strength to go on?
Well, you know what? You're right. It took a lot of strength, and I am a strong woman.
Yes.
You know? And, I mean, I would never.
We're getting through this, so keep going. I'm starting over.
The therapist is crying.
Well, I'm just really emotional because you're emotional.
Yeah.
I know it's very
Girl,
hard for you having
I
to
would
leave.
never wish the death of a loved one on nobody.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry to hear about your husband. I'm sorry to hear about him.
Someone cares.
And I can see that you have a strong sense of compassion towards others and a lot of resilience. You've gone through so much and you're still able to face adversity and still find the ability to carry on. Now let's say that while you were sleeping, a miracle occurs and the problem you came here to solve. What will let you know next morning that a miracle has occurred?
For one, I wouldn't have to see you anymore. I mean, you're the one trying to take my baby away, all right? But, talking with you a little bit, I got some personal things, coming up now, and, I'd like to have a better relationship with my kids, and, maybe lose a few pounds here and there. And not be as depressed, I've been kind of down lately.
Yeah.
And I just want to enjoy life. I want to get out there.
I understand. So when you're doing better, what exactly will happen? So in other words, what will be different when our work has been successful? What will be different in your life? What do you see?
For one, girl, I'll have a man. He'll be a sexy man too, sexy cowboy with boots made for walking, and my children will be happy.
Yes.
We'll have such great relationships. And I won't have any sad thoughts anymore. I'll be eating less. Taking some of this out, saving money, not eating as much, putting stuff in my mouth, and, I want to forgive my husband, for leaving me.
Yeah. Well, I commend you for seeing the changes that you need or want to change in your life. I know sometimes people have a hard time trying to see that. And I like the part that I had to point it out to you. You did it all by yourself. So I would love to work with you and help you accomplish these goals that you created for yourself. So what things can you do to eat less or help lose weight, which I know you said was one of your goals?
Yeah. I got this bag here. Call it my little snacky snacks. If I could, maybe, try to get rid of it, but I don't know. Sometimes I feel like it's a comfort, I bring it with me everywhere and just keep stuff in there I like to eat, and, but, I don't know, just trying to move around, I guess. It was nice getting out of the house that one time and, just maybe get outside and move around a little bit more, lose some weight.
All right, well, you said one thing you wanted to do is get rid of you said your snacky snack bag. Maybe not take that around anymore. You also said you enjoyed going out the house and maybe exercising. You can do that with your family members. Yeah. Well, I see earlier you pulled a lot of emotion when you started talking about your husband leaving you. So I really want to focus on that aspect of forgiving him, because I see that's a big problem in your life, and maybe hopefully moving on from that we can start making some progress. So for homework, I would like you to write a letter to him telling him exactly how you feel, whether it's good or bad, just exactly how you feel. Don't hold anything back. Now you can write about a positive reason you miss him, or any problems or disappointments you have with him, and with him in the relationship. I'm asking you to do this because I want you to be able to express your true feelings and this emotion and maybe help you deal with this loss. So how do you feel about a homework assignment?
Well, I haven't had homework since I was a little girl, so, it's kind of shock, I guess, but, I guess if you think it'll help me, I'll do it. You're the expert, pro, so, yeah, if it'll help me get over it, I guess, yeah, I'll try it.
Okay, all right. Well, my time here is over, but I look forward to seeing you next week with that letter with your husband.
Okay.
From your husband, to your husband. Okay, it was nice meeting you again. You take care. And sing. All right, well, that was session 1. And session 2, this is where we're going to have the goal setting and the intervention. With the intervention, I'm going to be identifying exceptions to her problems, which I've already done, and then we're going to start setting more goals for her to do. I'm going to go over the letter exercise with the client, which you'd like to do in any homework assignments, do it relatively early in the therapy session, just to make sure that the client actually did it. Don't wait to the very end because it may be looked over. I'm also going to have the scaling question, which is basically on a scale of 1 to 10, I'll ask the client how she's feeling. For homework, I'm going to assign one positive family interaction per day, and also a daily 15-minute quality time with each child, and also want her to be able to keep a journal of this. And I'm doing this homework assignment because one of her goals is to have a better connection with her family and with her children. So, let us begin. Well, hello, Bonnie. Welcome back. It's good seeing you.
It's good to see you too.
Yes. So, how have you been feeling since the last time we've met?
Well, you know what? Honestly, and I didn't think this would happen, but I'm feeling a little bit better. You know, I'm actually starting to talk with my children. It seems it's going pretty good in that aspect. You know, it's new for us, but you know, it's going.
Good, good. Well, I think that's fantastic. I'm really actually glad that you really feel more comfortable and you're feeling a lot better about yourself and you're starting to make progress. So, we just talked about that letter. So, do you have your letter today?
Yeah, actually, I brought it.
Awesome.
You want to read it?
Well, actually, I'm going to have you read it out loud to me. Read it out loud. That's okay?
I mean, yeah. If you want me to read it, I'll read it.
Yeah, that's all right. Thank you.
Dear Roger, it's been a long time since I've talked to you. You know, I hope you're doing well wherever you are. You just kind of up and left me and the kids. I mean, didn't have much to do without you, you know, but, you know, as time goes on, you know, it's getting a little better, and seeing this therapist now that thinks I need to talk to you, which, you know, I think it's a little bit crazy, but, you know, it's good to kind of let my feelings out, I guess. I guess I'm a little angry with you, you know. If you weren't happy, I don't know why you wouldn't have just told me and talked to me about it, you know, rather than just shutting me out and going away. You know, you left me with a lot of responsibility, and at first it seemed unmanageable, you know, but, you know, talking with this therapist, you know, just made me feel a little bit like, you know, I can do this without you, and, you know, I'm not as angry anymore, you know. I'm a little sad. I still kind of miss you, but, you know, you're obviously in a better place. So, I really don't have much else to say to you. The kids miss you. I miss you. And, till we meet again. Love, Brittany.
Thank you so much for sharing. I think that is tremendous. You were able to write that letter, but you had so much compassion and so much able to express your feelings to him. It wasn't just good things; it was bad things as well. So, how do you feel about that letter?
I feel better. You know, writing it is kind of hard, but you know, reading it out loud, you know, I feel a little bit better.
Good. Well, awesome. Now, I want to ask you a scaling question, which means I'm going to rank how you feel from a scale of 1 to 10. So the scale from 1 to 10, 1 is feeling pretty good and 10 feeling very depressed. So does this make sense to you?
I think so, but just ask your question.
So on a scale of 1 to 10, how do you feel about your depression, like it being a problem in your life on a scale of 1 to 10? And 10 being very depressed.
Well, I'd say at first my depression was probably about at a 9. You know, but after seeing you and, you know, writing that letter and spending more time with my kids and, you know, I feel like I'm maybe about like at a 5.
5, awesome. You know what, you're halfway there. So how did you accomplish this? What have you done to get to this point?
Well, I spoke to my kids.
Yeah.
We had a little family meeting. I told them I wanted to be closer as a family, and, you know, I just wanted to deal with my depression, and I took your advice and I wrote that letter. And you know, in regards to my weight, I don't have my snacky snack bag. Did you notice?
Yes, I did. Congratulations.
Yeah, so I'm pretty excited about that. It's not easy because, you know, but and the other day I rode with my son Gilbert. He went to his job and I saw his boss.
Okay.
See, he was looking at me.
Oh, okay.
So I looked on back. And you know what? He asked for my number.
Oh, did he really?
You know, and so, you know, I don't know if anything will happen, you know, but, you know, it's kind of nice to get some attention. You know, I haven't had that in a while, and just start feeling more comfortable with the males, you know. I really just started to see that, you know, if I put my mind to something, you know, I can make some good things happen.
Awesome. That's awesome. I'm so happy to hear that you had such a great week and that you've made so much progress towards your goals, Brittany. I commend you're getting out the house, you're interacting with what you call it, the males. And I'm also very proud of that you're cutting back on your snacky snacks. I'm glad you didn't bring it in today. I'm exceptionally glad to hear that you and your family are spending so much more time together, which I know is something you really want to do. And now that you said you felt like you had a 5 with your depression, so what do you think you would need to do to move on to maybe a 2 or 3?
2 or 3. Well, with the kids, see, I'm worried that they still might have some kind of resentment towards me, and you know, I'm having trouble trying to get them to see that I'm trying to change. You know, I know I've been like this for a long time, but I want to